Good morning, LinkedIn Live. Good morning. Good morning. How are you all doing? We're just getting ready. I say backstage. We're not backstage now. We're live. Alisa, we're live. Come in the studio. Alisa's technology, Alisa's Wi-Fi was failing her. So just in case Alisa disappears and comes back in, that's what it is. Alisa's in the depths of Herefordshire, right, Alisa?
Yes, man, with the cows and all types of tractors. Whenever you're running late, you're like, come on, guys, come on. And then you'll find out you're like 3 or 4 cars behind some tractor. It's a madness, man.
Yeah.
Madness. But still a
So
beautiful part of the country.
for real, it really is. So for anybody that's joining us live, good morning. If you are watching live, please say good morning in the comments if you're watching live. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for taking some time out of your day. And good morning to my very special guests, Denise Myers, founder of the Black Talent Awards, and Alisa Latty-Alleyne, the creative director for the Black Talent Awards. Good morning.
Morning,
Good
morning.
morning, everyone. Bright and early. I've still got my croaky voice on, so I do apologise.
Your morning voice. I always say it's the morning voice, right? When you've hardly spoken. But it's been a while since we've been on. I think we did this. Was it about a year ago? No, more than that, right?
Yeah. I think it was
I think
it was
wasn't it
after.
this year? I thought it was I thought we'd done one this year.
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, we might have done
Maybe.
because actually, no, I think we did it after. I just think we did it after the awards last year. I don't think we did it before.
Oh, we didn't, did we? Yeah, so it's maybe been a couple of years. Mandisa, good morning. Mandisa, how are you doing?
Morning.
Mandisa's joining us. Mandisa, I think Denise, you met Mandisa, didn't you? Last week.
Yes, we met online previously,
right, and then at the ERG Leader Summit. Good morning, Deirdre Labassiere from Birmingham. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so I've got with me the dream team, the dream team from the BTAs. So for anybody that has been to the BTAs, and if you've been to the BTAs before, please drop a good morning. If you've got any questions, actually, for either Denise or Alisa about the BTAs working while listening, of course, like multitasking, please do ask. And Alisa's the one that puts together the show. So if you're due to come to the show and you don't know what to expect and you want Alisa to spill some secrets, maybe ask a few questions. You never know what you might get out of Alisa this morning.
Not a lot.
My lips Denise knows.
Not a lot.
It's got to be a surprise. It's always a surprise.
It's always
even for these ladies, especially Denise, she's always want to see stuff, and I'm like, nobody show Denise this thing. It's about the emotion on the evening. I want people to feel that connection and emotion on the evening. I want to see Denise in tears. That's my measure of his work.
Yeah, Denise crying. Do you want to just say really quickly what you do when you're not doing BTAs before we get into the conversation? So Denise, do you want to start? Obviously, everybody knows that you're the founder of the Black Talent Awards, but they probably don't necessarily know so much about even fields and recruitment and all of that. So just explain what it is that you do aside from BTAs.
Yeah, so Even Fields Careers is my day job, is what I do, and we work with organisations who want to increase their diversity, leaders who are actually, doing something about attracting Black talent. So I help them to do that through recruitment, but also through talking to their teams about how they can do it themselves a bit better, and things that they need to look out for in their procedures and their recruitment systems.
Amazing. And Alisa, your busy day job.
Yeah, I'm the national director for the UK and Ireland for the Christian Broadcasting Network. And I'm really proud to say I'm the first female director of the Christian Broadcasting Network in about 25 years. So it's a real honour and a privilege to be leading the ministry. Everybody that knows me well knows I'm in love with Jesus. And I do everything I can in my day job to make sure that people get introduced to him. But I love it. It's incredibly challenging, but I love it. And I get to do the whole creative piece that sometimes you don't always get to do as a director with the BTAs, which is always a real privilege for me.
Yeah. Amazing. And one of the things I remember, Denise, I don't know whether you remember this. I remember when Alisa was first going to meet like some of the sponsors, and Alisa would come back and like, and they love Jesus. Like she'd go out and make some.
Yeah.
The first year with Dominique Sidley, Richard Coulty, all still part of the BTA family. But yeah, Jesus is everywhere, man. Anyway,
absolutely. and also one of the things I wanted to link to, and I think it'll start the conversation off nicely. So Denise, as you were talking about like Even Feels Careers and the work that you do with organization, it reminded me of, and not a lot of people see like some of the backstage stuff that happens, or the stuff that happens outside of on the night, like with sponsors and stuff. But I remember you ran a focus group, right, with Merlin, who are one of the headline sponsors, around attracting Black talent. So just talk a little bit about that, just as an example of some of the things that the sponsors are doing, to kind of work on this agenda, and how you can help organizations in that space as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely our sponsors are doing a lot in the background, and that's why we are so proud to work with them. And it is about that aligning of your values. It's not just about giving us money to put on a glitzy show. It's about what they're doing in the background. And just to go back to the work that we did with Merlin on that, we got together a group of, there were some students, there were some young people from I'm trying to think of the legacy. I'm trying to think
was
of
it the legacy?
Was
it the Legacy Centre?
Okay. Yeah. They sent some young people, and we had some from a different community as well. So we had groups of young people who were looking at, we had a focus group, and we had two groups. They came in, they sat, they looked at Merlin's adverts and their, their brand and everything else. And then they gave feedback of what they thought of, job titles, job descriptions. So it was a really good experience for the young people as well. There was a young lady there who was a student who I think she ended up doing some work experience as well in their league, didn't realise that they had a legal team that she could, she was studying to be a lawyer, that she could go and do some work experience there as well. So although we came to do this work as a group, the young people ended up getting a lot out of it as well. So it wasn't just, Merlin got this, it was the young people got a lot out of it as well. And probably still have, I say probably, I know that a couple of them still have that connection with Merlin as well. So so they do a lot in the background.
Yeah, that's amazing, because it is more than just, as you say, it's more than just a glitzy night. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, and this thing about the development of young people probably is something that we'll get onto as well, because I know that's going to be a focus. Good morning, Denise Myers, coming in from Lydia
Morning, Lydia.
Good morning, Lydia. Thank you for joining us. And then that probably links us nicely into where we'll start the conversation today, because Black History Month and BTAs is always around the time of the start of Black History Month. So Black History Month this year, the theme is reclaiming narratives. So, which I think is it's a great theme. I think a really good theme. Jason Roberts had done a poll actually this week on LinkedIn, Denise. I don't know if you'd seen it, about Alisa. I know you're not as like lively on LinkedIn.
Guys, but I'm in my Bible.
Which that's the sort of thing that my nan would have told me to do. She'd be like, go pick up your book, right, rather than be on social media. So Jason Roberts has done a poll about whether it should still be called Black History Month or should be called Black Futures. But I almost feel that this theme of reclaiming narratives is almost bridging that gap, right? So just what does that theme mean to you? So when you hear that theme, reclaiming narratives, what does it mean for you, and how does that link into what the Black Talent Awards does? Throw it out to either of you to start.
I think definitely the theme soaring higher this year was a really great, I mean, I didn't know at that point in time that this was the theme of Black History Month, but
Yeah.
Soaring Higher it's this collective call to action for us to be unapologetically who we are. And they're simple things like, I didn't really understand the significance of me having my sister looks as a director, and women messaging me and saying, we're so proud to see you just being your authentic self. Not there's any shade with anybody that wears a little bit of extensions. Listen, I've been there, I've done that, I know it. But it's those types of things about just, I knew that when I stepped into the role that I'm in, that I wanted to make sure that I brought every part of my culture, every part of my history, my backstory to the role, and how I lead. And I think that with the theme that we have this year, it is about encouraging this next generation, future leaders and the development of them. But it's also about being able to say to everybody in the room and everybody that follows us as a movement, hey, listen, be yourself, be your authentic self, and reclaim your narrative, reclaim your identity, in order to soar higher. And one of the videos that you'll see throughout the night is an incredible video of Jonathan Williams, celebrity photographer, now a judge, just doing incredible things. But he talks about, he lived in this place where he was continuously challenged with not being who he actually is. And it stopped him. It stopped him from getting jobs, because he just he wasn't being seen as his authentic self. And so he's moved now into this space where he's just like, I am who I am, unapologetically. And from that moment, he's just started to soar higher. So I think when we talk about reclaiming narrative, I think it goes hand in hand with being your authentic self, because actually when you live in a place of true identity, of true self, that everything is available to you, because you're not having to pretend at any point in time. So I think it fits perfectly with what we're doing this year, with the theme of the entire night.
I love that whole authenticity thing. Yeah, definitely. Denise, for you, what does it mean for you, and how does it link to the BTAs?
It links tremendously to the BTAs and to Even Fields, because this is what we live and breathe, and this is the reason why this movement has started, because we are changing, reclaiming narratives, whichever way you want to put it, because the narratives that has been put on Black talent and the Black community has been negative in the past. It's negative when, we speak to clients initially. The thing is, the rhetoric is, oh, we can't find Black talent. There isn't any Black talent out there, i.e. Black talent isn't as good as white talent or whatever. So that's the narrative, that even, that I get when I initially speak to people. We what we're going to do, where are they, sort of thing. So the Black Talent Awards, this is the reason why it was started, to show everyone, to put Black talent on a platform that everybody can see, that you can walk into a room. This year, that room is going to be the ICC. You walk into that room and it is absolutely filled with Black talent, to the roof, to the rafters. So, people cannot say there is no Black talent, and that's just a tip of the iceberg of the talent that is out there. So that is reclaiming the narrative. It couldn't be better. When I sort of Googled, I thought, oh, well, what's the theme this year? And I saw it, I was like, and we're actually going to be in Black History Month this year. We're usually at the end of September, but we're actually in that month. So everything's kind of worked together for us. This is our theme. This is our title this year.
Definitely, for sure. And just a few good mornings as well. So we've got a good morning from, hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Is it Viana or Viana Maya? Good morning, Viana. And also we've got Dr. Trupal. Let's not forget the doctor. Dr.
That's Trupal in the house.
Good morning, True has joined us. And Lydia was just saying there, I think ridiculous about this thing about, oh, we can't find Black talent. And I think you do hear that a lot in, you know, when people are like, you know, looking for somebody to fill roles, you know, that is one of the reasons that they say there isn't the representation. It's, oh, we can't find them, you know, there aren't any black people in insert whatever sector it is, right?
You need to look with that eyes.
Yeah, and I always think that's one of the reasons. Good morning, Saj. Good morning, Saj Zafar. I always think that's one of the reasons, you know, obviously, and I remember, Denise, when we were first kind of like, you know, looking at things like the categories, and I remember Joe was adamant, Joe Bailey was adamant in having like different industries and sectors across, and you know, and you know, we'd be the first to admit that some years there are certain sectors where we have to really kind of fight to get the representation and really dig deep and go out into our network and encourage people in those sectors to apply. But it is important that we find representation across all of the sectors, right? Which, you know, which we have been able to find. So that's really great. Somebody else on here said you're doing great work with BTA, Denise. So yeah, the love is out there. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And also the thing around, I think in terms of the reclaiming narratives, it's finding not only the black talent, but just at the levels, right? So we have to say, like, the standards are just keep going up and up and up. And it's like unearthing gems. I don't know whether you'd agree with that. You know, if we 100%. Talk about some of the highlights from some of like the previous winners and then some of this year's finalists. I don't know if you want to just share some of the, almost like how blown away we are every time we see these entry forms come through.
I don't know if we can talk about this year's.
Previous winners.
Yeah, because this year's as well is just like, we don't want to give anything away, but they're absolutely amazing, and the judges have had such a hard time deliberating over who was going to even go in to be the finalist. So everybody who was nominated, please do not think for one moment that, you know, it's been a runaway show. It was so close. That who made it to finalists and then who made it to the winners is even, you know, more of a fight they were having. The judges were having a fight over who was going to do that. But so some of the winners, the previous winners that come to, I mean, they're all fantastic. We could mention Afra Brooke Barnes, who's now a judge. We can mention Trevor Sterling, first black senior partner in a top 100
law firm.
Elizabeth Shaw, who was our trailblazer last year. And one of my firm favourites was Angela Moore, the head teacher from Angela, she'll always have a special place because of what she did with the school. She works in a very deprived area, and she turned that school round to, it's won so many awards now. They're outstanding. And this is a primary school where, you know, our children are starting their education and they're starting life, and how she included a lot of it was how she included the parents, the moms, and in that. So she holds a very, very special place for one of our first public sector and public service winners. So Angela, and not forgetting Wayne Brown as well.
I was about to say, for me, he definitely a special moment was Wayne in our very first year. And but I think just to kind of backtrack, I think just kudos to you, Cheryl, because like you created a judging process where the integrity of the judging process is like second to none. People think that it's just like a little, you know, here's a little nominate, here are a couple nominees, guys. Like have a chat amongst yourselves. It's not. And on the evening on the BTAs this year, you know, you don't. She does. I sent a message to Cheryl on Monday saying, "Oh, I must send you an email to just talk about your segment, and then you just need to let me have your speech next week." She was like, "This speech."
What speech?
Exactly. But I think it's really important on the evening that we share the integrity of our judging process, so that people really understand what's involved in each stage of it. Because these are, and how difficult, like you said, it is to be able, for the judges to be able to select one person from such a high level of talent that's out there. But I think one of the things that stands out to me across all the winners and the finalists and the nominees is just their moment. It's their moment to be recognised. And some people have been grafting for an age and never been recognised, never sought recognition of any kind. It's really exciting. I'm looking forward to Trailblazer Award this year. We can't give anything away, but it's just people that finally have their moment to say, well done, good and faithful servant, like, well done, you've done well, and here's your applause. I think that's the beauty of it for me across all the winners. It's just their moment to actually be recognised, whether they're starting their career or coming towards the back end of it. And I also think that's the beauty of the awards, is that it's multi-generational. We're not specifically just looking for graduates or people starting off. We're looking at people that are being rewarded throughout their career. All of them are stars.
Absolutely, definitely. And just we've had some really nice comments coming in. So morning Paul, is it Cese or Cisse? I'm not sure. Cisse, morning Paul Cisse.
Can I just say something
about? Go ahead.
We've got Paul Cisse from the National Diversity Awards, and we've got Drew Powell on as well. Just thank you for your support. We're not, we're not in competition. We're all doing, these awards for the greater good of our communities and marginalised communities across the board. So personal thank you to True and Paul for being on today, and also for the support that you give us in the background as well.
Absolutely.
Both of you, and you giving me information, giving me, leads with help.
I remember True's input in year one, like right at the beginning, definitely. And we've also got Bernadette Thompson on as well. Good morning, Bernadette. One of our amazing judges. And Bernadette says about the judging regime being robust. It is really robust. And there's something about for anybody that's maybe watching, and I know sometimes Black people are sometimes reluctant to put themselves forward and self-promote and all of that, which is why it can sometimes be even hard to get those nominations. But I know that one of the things that the judges really do look for, and Denise reminded me of it when you were talking about Angela Moore, is that giving back. It's the giving back. It's not just about that the individual has demonstrated excellence in their profession. There's always an element of how have they paid it forwards? How are they contributing to the betterment of the community? So, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Gosh, there's a lot of love in the comments. I can't even keep up now.
Love you, melanin popping sister. Thank you, Bernard.
And also about the judges, we just love our judges. We really do. And as a nominee, if you're nominated and you've got these judges in your corner shouting for you and saying, look at this, that I don't think we've got any shrinking violence. They've all got an opinion on the nominations that come through, and it's great to hear. Madeline McQueen will always be ringing in my ears with her piece of paper saying, but where's the impact?
Absolutely. Honestly,
they are really in your corner when they go through your nominations with a fine-tooth comb.
It's the nominations, and then the interview process as well is something that happens. Good morning, Tiana. The interview process. I've heard, people often end up in tears in some of these interviews because the stories of the struggles on the overcoming. And there is something about, I feel like, I don't know whether this resonates for you too as well, but the whole process, it really inspires the judges and it inspires us, right? When you hear what people have gone through and what they've achieved, etc. It is, you know, it's just, it's a beautiful thing, really.
And what I love is how it can really switch at interview. Which is the same as anything. It's the same as, you know, if you're going for a job, you know, you'll see 3 CVs and you'll be like, yeah, this one's going to, this is what the front runner, this one's going to get it. But when they actually get to that interview point, it can completely turn on its head.
Definitely.
How, you know, how a nomination comes through on paper to actually speak to someone.
Let's talk about the night. So, I mean, anybody that hasn't got tickets yet, I mean, we haven't even really talked very much about the night, but as somebody that once said, I think when we were doing the podcast last year, somebody said it's a vibe.
Come on.
That was the words that they used. They said it's a vibe. Oh, Tiana, I cried in interviews the last 2 years. It's people's real lives and real stories. I've heard of that. Yeah, literally the nominees crying, the judges are crying. Yeah, it's a real sort of moment. Let's get on to the night then, Alisa. What have you got in store? Well, tell us about some of the things that have been in previous years. So anybody that's never been to the BTAs, you know, what are some of the things that you think sums up the BTAs?
Definitely. I love that line. It's a vibe. It definitely is. I feel like it's a cross between a big family cookout barbecue reunion with people and the Oscars or the Grammys, like blended together. That's how I could sum it up. The night is about the finalists and the winners. We never shy away from making it about celebrities, judges, sponsors. We're very grateful for all of those people. And don't get me wrong, there's, again, no shade to other award shows. We're all completely different and we do different things. But for us, right from the beginning, Denise has been like insistent that the focus is on the finalists and the winners of that evening. And I think that's the beauty of our award shows, is that you look around and there are, you know, show reels of every single finalist. There is a sense of real achievement and focus on them. And so we make the first part of the evening really about sponsors, headline sponsors, founders, speech, other little bits and pieces, you know, creating a real atmosphere. And then we move into dinner service. And so that people can chat. Like, we do not want the awards going on while people are eating their crispy duck and their creme brulee. Like, we just don't want that. We also want people that have come and paid their money and want to experience the night actually to network and hear other people's stories, and catch up. And so being able to have that moment where we pause and just have dinner and just break bread together, I think there is something, as you know, scriptural about that. But yeah, we're just breaking bread together and just having a nice time. And then we, at 9:30, 9:45, we'll start the award show. And we wanted to make sure that the awards themselves gave each person a moment to be recognised, but also wanted it to flow and be a celebration. So we don't have speeches on stage. The winners get whisked off to a media suite where they get to be interviewed. They have their picture taken, and they have that moment that they would have on stage so that we can then share it on social media and our different platforms afterwards. And each winner has a specific song that is unique to their story for their winner's walk. Those are carefully selected in the process so that it's truly their moment and everybody is focused on the stage. And and it starts to build that energy and atmosphere for the party, because we start at 7:30. We do not start late. It is not the BTA's way. I remember the first year, I said to Denise, like, what's your measurement of success? And she said that we finish at 11:30 and we get to the party, outside of other things, guys, obviously. And so everybody that was there on that night would have seen me going, listen. I'm very objective driven. So we finished at 11:30. We started on time. We
On the
finished at
dot.
11:30 on the dot.
On the dot.
And we've continued that theme. And so when you come, you know that you're experiencing something that is focused on the finalists, bringing people together, an opportunity to celebrate life and the unity and the differences of who we are, because there's lots of different people that are in that room that are from different backgrounds, that are advocates of ours. So we get to the end of the evening and we just said, you know what, take off my wig and we take off my shoes, my earrings, and let's dance. And it's so great seeing people that were at the very beginning of the evening in their ties. Maybe the CFO of some organization at 11:45 doing the candy dance with everybody else. It's phenomenal. It's real. It's an absolute vibe, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it is. And do you know what? The celebration, the party, the dancing at the end, it's so important. You know, it's really important for one, you know, and I was explaining this to Richard Loftus last year. I said, you don't understand how important the dancing is. You know, I said in Black culture, whether that be African culture, Caribbean culture, if it's a celebration, we are dancing.
Yes.
So therefore,
whatever.
Yeah,
if it's a funeral, we are dancing. We're dancing.
Exactly.
Whatever. We're dancing. Not actual funeral, but
yeah. So there has to be time, you know, that is an important part of, you know, Black culture, if we say that. It really is. I'm loving all the Bernadette's talking about what she's going to be wearing.
That's another thing that's really important. That's the thing. That's another thing that's really important in terms of just how we show up. We dress out for this. Like, this isn't this is about full glitz glamour, and it's an opportunity to just feel that level of Black excellence in the room. We don't always get the opportunity to do that, and whether that's in your own cultural dress, whether that's in, you know, the dress that you hired from the store, whether that's something you've gone out and spent serious money on, but it's just a moment to be able to say, this is who we are. And I'm really looking forward this year to being at the ICC. It's such an iconic, huge venue, and just seeing the beauty of Black excellence fill the ICC, from the gallery when you walk in, up the escalators to the main foyer. It's going to be a sight to be seen. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely.
One of the things that I love is when people start greeting, you know, it's like old friends. And, you know, even some people, I said, oh, I didn't know you knew so-and-so. And they were like, I don't, we've only just met. And then, you know what I mean? It was absolutely one of the best photos that I saw last year was Dan from Severn Wines. And he was having a conversation with the, let me get that, is it the deputy lieutenant? So we had Wade Lee, we had Martin Bevermore, and there was somebody else there. Kevin Davis. And he was like, Dan was like, Denise, you know, he's from London, and he's like working for a hip hop company, and they do wines. And he was like, you know, I'm going to have dinner with these guys. They're absolutely fantastic. It's just that level of intergenerational cultures, everything just meets together. And
it's love, man. It's love. That's
it's love. Definitely.
Yeah, the intergenerational thing. I mean, you know, Bernadette has like summed it up there, and she said, you know, we are BTA fan, but especially last year on the dance floor, there was a really young set from London that had come up from a charity in London. I can't remember their name, but they'd come up, you know, a big group of them. And so there was a very, you know, at times there was a very sort of like young feel to the dance floor. And then they were like the more seasoned heads, you know, sort of dropping a foot. And if I'm sure this year we're going to get Alisa leading some soca random, because I'll never forget that from year one.
It's about the jam. I've got a meeting with Mexi later this week. We're going to be talking about the soca playlist. I've got a couple tunes that we need to make sure are there. I will be leading it.
If you are into your soca, right, You need to come because that's Alisa, right? Social Arc, that was the charity. Anne-Marie, thank you so much. Social Arc was the charity. They're back again this year, right? So they're going to be on the dance floor.
Our expectations are high. Social Arc, our expectations are high.
I think we're almost we're slightly over time, honestly, but thank you so much to everyone that's joined.
I think over time, are we?
Well, it's not like us.
It's not like us.
One of my highlights, I think, from and this goes back to year one in terms of on the night. Obviously there's all of the amazing winners and all of that. There really are some amazing moments. But it was year one when when people would come up in the lift and the lift would open and there was a waxwork of Barack Obama and people were like. That was just priceless. Seeing people's faces, it was just incredible.
And you know what?
Can we tell them? We can't tell you the names of who, but can we say that there might be more than one this year? There might be more than one, guys. Just saying, might be. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But to be honest, now, come on. Do you think we peaked at year one with Barack? I don't know how we ever go.
I don't think
maybe we couldn't have gone for him for year one because
don't say waxwork.
Testing Dominique and the team, Merlin.
Bernadette says, don't say waxworks. Obama was there. Yeah, Barack Obama was at year one. Yeah,
he was
the
there.
real Barack. Yeah, well, I honestly, if you're not coming, you need.
I feel
to be
sorry for you.
Sure.
and
don't come complaining to us after you see all the pictures. Yeah,
Friday is the last day, and that is the honest. I'm not just saying that. That is the last day, unless we in face purchase a few more tables and put a few more tables in, but. That's
Friday's the last day, the cut-off. Yeah.
ICC. So if you've got dietary requirements and you come in after, don't bother because the tables I'm going to
yeah.
Just
so if you want to come, it's this week. It's this is the week that you have to get in touch with Denise. This is the cut-off. Absolutely.
So Black Talent Awards.co.uk. That's where you can get the tickets from. If you don't know that already, I don't know where you're from. I just saw a message
pop up to tell Paul to get tickets. Paul can't get tickets because unfortunately we're both on the same night this year.
Sad times.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard's joined. Richard, good morning, Richard. There have been so many amazing highlights from the last few years, and I've met so many incredible people. Really looking forward to this year's. Richard,
great to have you back. We love you.
We met you, Richard, and that was
and
great.
Anne-Marie says, "Don't come to me after Friday." So Anne-Marie looks after all of the. Anne-Marie does the seating plan. Anne-Marie, along with Denise, do like the table plan, the seating plan, etc.
We started that this week. It's giving us a headache.
Yeah,
we won't do it
every year.
Every year.
And I don't know how you're doing.
Nobody wants to sit near the back. Sorry, somebody has to. You know what? I'm going to sit at the back this year.
I can't wait. I know we've got to go, but I can't wait this year for when those doors open to the main hall and people see something extraordinary.
Yeah,
it is not your average. It's not your average show. It's something very, very special. Yeah. So do you want to be part of something that is full of love, full of a vibe?
We're looking forward to Tim Campbell as well.
Of course.
Our very first ambassador.
Yeah, so Tim Campbell, off of The Apprentice, obviously he was the first Apprentice winner, right?
He was.
Amazing to have him as an ambassador. And finalists, you're in for a treat in terms of, a little bit of time with Tim Campbell on the evening as well. So that's going to be amazing. But ladies, thank you so much for joining me. As always, please, honestly, if you're not coming already, this is your opportunity because you don't want to be crying afterwards when you see all of the photos and hear the amazing, the amazing stories and all of the selfies. I know Bernadette was talking about her selfie stick. I have a selfie target. I'll be starting with Tim Campbell. That's amazing. Ladies, final words from you before we sign off this morning. Final words.
I'll go first. I'll give Dee the final one. It's just a real privilege to what I'll get emotional, but it's just such a privilege to work with you both and the entire collective team. We're so fortunate to just love each other, to always want to be empowering each other to be more and be more. But everything about these awards are about the people that are being recognized and rewarded. And so, yeah, it's just a joy. Like I said, it's love. So I'm excited for the night. I'm excited to be there with you guys and celebrate our 3rd year. It's been a whirlwind. I cannot believe we're 3rd year in. But yeah, just come join us. Come be part of something extraordinary. 4th of October, ICC, tickets this Friday, cut off, blacktalentawards.co.uk.
Yeah, amazing. Denise, last words to you.
Last words would have to be from me, would have to be a thank you. Thank you to everyone that is, Cheryl and Alisa, of course. Thank you for being with me on this journey. It's been a fantastic journey. We talk about falling out and disagreements. I cannot say that we have had any. We might not always, want to do things the same way, and we talk and we discuss it. But yeah, thank you guys for being on this journey with me. Thank you to the judges, the sponsors, and the nominees and the nominators, the people that are pushing people forward, people that we would never ever come across because they've got their heads down, they're doing the work, they're making impact in their part of the world, and we don't see that because they're not shouting about it and no one else is shouting about them. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to give people that platform that they deserve, and just say thank you to everybody who is out there that you are doing the work. Maybe we haven't come across you yet. We just want to say thank you for that, because you're making impact, and you're making impact on, that's my word for the year, impact. You're making impact on people's lives, on the lives of our community, and thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
My
last, honestly, just a thank you, to you guys and Denise, and and if Joe Bailey were on as well. I think the vision that you two had to create this thing, and I guess because you work in that field of recruitment and careers and work, which are such a big part of things like social impact and social justice. Access to opportunity is a really big part of this, especially for the Black community. So thank you for having that vision, really, and for for pulling me into that. It's been an absolute privilege. And as we go into this Black History Month, the reclaiming narratives, and for all of the people that are listening, I know we've got some, as I've started to call people like DEI giants in this space. And so, just wishing everybody a really good month of, lifting each other up, telling different stories, and seriously reclaiming that narrative. So, just a thank you to everybody really that's joined in this conversation.
Guys, listen, we better also thank Anne-Marie Jourdain, Anne-Marie Sutcliffe,
absolutely,
Diana, before we get on the call on Friday and no one's there. Richard.
This team, yes.
Everybody bets
I never get mentioned.
The team behind the scenes. There's a whole army behind the scenes that make it happen. So for sure, definitely. All right, guys, everybody that's in the comments that's watched this live, thank you so much for spending a bit of your Wednesday morning with us. We hope we've given you a bit of a lift on this midweek on Hump Day. And if you're watching it on the replay, thank you for watching it.
If you're watching it on Monday, you've missed out.
I'm sad for you. I'm sad for you.
If you're watching it on Monday and you still want tickets, you need to get in touch with Anne-Marie Jourdain.
She said no.
Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us, and we're going to be out of here. Have a really good week, and we'll see you at the Black Talent Awards.
Yay!
We will.
Take care.